Welcome to the Divine Feminines podcast and channel. I'm your host, Steph Desar, and in today's video we are talking the new moon in Cancer and how we can get the most out of this energy. What does it mean for us to do moon magic, moon manifestation, but really enjoy and, embrace this Cancerian season and energy. So before I get started, don't forget to like and subscribe this channel with the Divine Feminines on YouTube, and we're on all major podcast platforms because we drop an episode every Friday. That's on Google, Spotify and Apple, and we're also on Instagram and TikTok, and that's Divine Feminines with a Z at the end. Why like and subscribe this channel? Well, like I said, we've got episodes every Friday on mind, body, soul empowerment, divine feminine, divine masculine, twin flame journey, the ascension, everything that you could leverage to become a better person. And then we also drop bonus content on the new moon, full moon, portals and all of that great stuff, and that's what this video is. It's a bonus one that I do on a regular basis. So Cancer new moon, when does it happen? Let's get started. The 29th of June, if you're in the UK, it's at 3:52 a.m. in the morning, so it's a very early time. If you can get up, that would be a nice time for you. And if you're in East Coast EST time, that's 10:52 p.m. on the 28th. So depending on time zones, I'm not going to cover all time zones, I tend to do just those two. You can figure it out, just do the conversion on your end. And Cancer is, that's actually my rising sign, so I'm a Cancer rising. So in this actual new moon, it's sitting in my first house because we look at the moons and we look at our rising sign. And so because my rising is Cancer, this is in my first house of how I come across in my appearance, and it's also new beginnings, my self-expression. And what better way to be talking about that on this video. But for you individually, you can definitely go and do your own natal chart. I recommend it. It's so good because you can pair your own natal chart, houses and placements alongside the new moon and where this new moon is. So sitting in Cancer, so where does Cancer sit in my chart? And then you can really hone in. But I'm going to go through what this Cancerian new moon is bringing in. Now, Cancer is very much the cardinal water energy. It is connected to the moon, very powerful moon connection. If you're a Cancer or a rising or any Cancer placements, we're known as moon child. I kind of call myself moon child. It makes sense now. Ever since I connected to the moon and started working with the moon more and more, I saw magnificent changes and impact, and I've seen how much it impacts and helps others. We've also got a new moon in a Leo event that's actually happening in person in London. There'll be details in the description box, but you can check it out on the Divine Feminine's Linktree site and you can book tickets. But I won't go into that all now. I want to get into this. So we're talking water energy, we're talking the moon, we're talking ocean, we're talking feelings. This is a time of being in your feelings, and there's nothing wrong with being in your feelings. There's nothing wrong with feeling and expressing those emotions. And this might, if you don't do it much, it might be pushing you at this time because Cancer wants you to be in your feelings, wants you to understand yourself. It's also a time of home, family, relationships coming together, how you see yourself, your own self-expression, your own self-love, your own self-nurturing, your home, how you perceive your home, how you interact with those, your family and friends and those that are close to you. It's a great energy to really celebrate that, and I mentioned that in the summer solstice video, that coming together, this is definitely inherent in the Cancer season of coming together and everything. So there's a beautiful energy there, and just after this new moon we have some interesting alignments. We've got this beautiful alignment between Venus and Jupiter. So the Venus, the goddess of love, the caring, nurturing energy, with Jupiter, expansive, great, big, good luck energy, positive energy. So the two coming together is going to feel like a really good feeling, of just feel good, happiness, joy. It's going to be all those high vibrational sort of emotions and sentiments, most definitely. At the same time, we've got, nasty, fiery Mars. I say nasty, I've got a lot of Mars placements, but with Pluto, and that can feel quite heavy and a bit of aggressive and a little bit like gets a bit eruptive and can be quite destructive and be a bit provocative. So this is a time that you could either tune into one or the other, and it's going to be really on you. This is on you. So if you focus on the good, okay, and all the joyful feelings and the feeling of good and that vibration, you are going to amplify that, because just this around this new moon, that's what's coming in. So if you really hone into that Cancerian vibes, and you know, you're feeling yourself in a positive way, and there's nothing wrong with feeling a bit more emotional. I always say, you know, crying is a superpower. You let it sift through. We are not our emotions. They're just visitors, and if we can acknowledge them as they visit us, then they don't pile up and it doesn't get so heavy, because then we're carrying this really big rucksack. And who wants to walk in this lifetime with that heavy rucksack? By the way, Cancerian energy is here right now. Like, I am burning up, and I needed to do this video because I didn't want to do it when it rains or when it's not sunny, because I just think that's the vibe of this new moon. Like, I wanted to bring the sun, and guess what? I've got the moon tent right behind me. Shout out to Nomade Tulum, where I've been staying. It's so gorgeous here. It's a jungle village, and they've really treated me so special, and I love each and every one of the people that I've met here. It's been so truly magical. So shout out everybody. I hope some of you are watching, and some of those that I've met and made friends with, and some are going to be friends for life. It's just amazing. So I'm sending you all love, and welcome to the Soul Tribe as well, because I'm glad to have you here. And a shout out to all my yoga teachers and those that did breathwork, sound healing, audio. I did a DJ yoga session, doing yoga with sound in the headphones with a live DJ set. It was incredible. I went into my Akashic records at the end. I can't tell you how incredible it was. I did that this morning. I've just been loving my time here. So anyway, getting back to this, so you have the choice of what energy you want to tap into. Now, if you're in a place where things are feeling quite heavy at the moment in life, I'm warning you just up front that if you're kind of tuning into that heaviness and not sifting through it, you may get quite impacted by the Mars and Pluto placement. So you have time now, as I put this video out a few days earlier, to try and shift and focus on your vibration, focus on grounding, so you have time now to focus your energy and ground yourself, and maybe do some journaling and just get into tune with your feelings, what you need to release. You can start preparing. I've also pulled some messages as well. The other things I wanted to say is that it's a great time with the feelings, and there's a real connection to ancestry and family and past life and legacy. So is there anything that you feel that you need to heal within yourself, that you feel has kind of impacted you on your journey so far, whether it's to do with family from childhood or things that have been passed down in family? So it's a great time also to study your lineage and honor your ancestors who came before you, and the gifts that they gave, they bestowed on you. Like, what are those gifts? What have you learned? What do you think that has given you the positives, and where do you think maybe there's been some trauma that has been impacted through your lineage, and where can you look through that and allow yourself. I know this is not a full moon, but Cancer wants you to be emotionally intelligent, emotionally, resilient. That's the word. And with me being a Cancer rising, I can say that because of my rising sun and my North Node is Cancer, it's about me really being, emotionally resilient, and also being able to express myself. It's self-expression as well, in using emotional vulnerability and all of those traits that show that that's a strength. It's a superpower. It's not, it's not a weakness. So, those are the things that I think is worth looking at. And then when we're looking at manifesting, journal first of all before calling in intentions. Just see if you can clear any energy, and ask yourself, what is it that might be holding me back? Am I, in terms of what do I need for self-love? What do I need for self-nurture? Journal on those topics. Journal on, am I, around the home and family? Like, do you feel secure at home? Do you feel like you have the home environment that you want, the loving home kind of set up? It kind of gets a bit of a Libra energy with the home vibes, but it's very much about that home and family. So ask yourself, am I nurturing myself? Am I giving to myself? Am I doing what I need to do for me? And is my home reflective of that? Because sometimes we can have homes that don't really what's the words, like they don't really reflect and magnify. They're not a true reflection of how we feel inside. So then the home feels uncomfortable. So it's all about, like, does my home feel comforting? Do I feel like it's aligning to me and my feelings, and does it make me feel good? I know I've got a Libra moon, so aesthetically I need my home to be a certain way, because that really helps me feel really calm. So I go with very simple, like in terms of aesthetics, I go with very simple, clean, very kind of white spaces, clear spaces, minimalistic. I'm very minimalistic. Even in my fridge I'm minimalistic, because you guys might know I fast most of the time and hardly eat, but eat tropical fruits. Shout out Dream Fruit UK. Just saying to my bro Connor, sending love, who will be at the new moon event with us, providing some tropical fruits. I digress, but I just couldn't help but say, yeah. Back to the home and those journal prompts, and then calling in manifestations. It really is a time to sort of say, what is it that you want to call in and set intentions around those big wishes. You can set big dreams and wishes that are not like necessarily specific to Cancer energy, so it could just be like big goals. And we're going into this next 6 months of the year, so use this as a visionary kind of moment. You know, things that you might have been working on, or you've shifted gears and you pivoted, and so you can call in and set those intentions and make them into wishes. And then afterwards, you know, so I wish I set up, I wish to have a successful, thriving podcast business, let's say, and then, you know, I have a thriving podcast platform. Just giving that as as an example. It could be anything. Also, don't ask for money as such. I always say ask for resources, ask for abundance of resources and tools. Money is an energy, so it will all come with the mindset and what you put out there in terms of your own energy. Lack mentality will also, any lack or restrictive thinking can also block anything that wants to come in for you. So always advise doing some little clearing rituals before that new moon. And what you can also sort of call in is anything around if you want to become more emotionally available, intelligent, resilient, if you want to develop more meaningful moments with the family, bring together celebrations, or you have visions for the family and stuff of bringing them together, you can also set wishes around that, because it will be magnified with Cancer. And also with Jupiter and Venus, they will be totally supporting this. So if you're like with me, I'm going to be planning this new moon in Leo event. Like, it's already set up, but we'll be doing some prep for it. It's a great energy, so I'll be like definitely aligning to that, and then I'll be seeing whoever can make it for that event, and I'm looking forward to it. So finally, I've pulled some messages, some key messages from some oracle cards, and these made so much sense to me in terms of what I've just already said, actually. So pulled the moon oracle cards from Moonology, and the first one is full moon in Taurus, detoxify. This is also a great time, which I didn't mention before, but decluttering the home, removing things, but even detoxifying the home, even yourself. Like, what is it that you might just need to release, or just kind of cleanse and have a new start? It might be like, I'm going to give up smoking, or I'm going to cut down on drinking coffee, or whatever it is. You can treat that as like an intention for this new moon. Totally. What is it that you want to cleanse and create a better lifestyle? The next one is last quarter moon in Sagittarius, so that's Jupiter energy. Practice gratitude, and this is that beautiful Venus and Jupiter energy that, like I said, it's going to be so beautiful, nurturing, loving and caring, and it's going to be amplified around the new moon. So practicing gratitude for what you already have will give you more of that feeling, and you really hone into that energy rather than the Mars and Pluto. So also your natal charts could kind of, if you have like a clash with Pluto, then there could be some likely challenges. But if you're aware and conscious, you can definitely navigate and use the higher frequencies of this time. So the final one is full moon in Pisces, forgive. And I think this is a really interesting one, because Cancer is about feelings and letting go and anything that might have hurt you before, and just knowing that you can just forgive. You don't need closure and the person's there. So if there's things that you just need to let go of resentment, it's a great time to sort of call that in. Even though it's a new moon, you can say, you know, I wish to kind of release any resentment that I've been holding back, and I want to bring in new energy. I want a new beginning that allows me to have that. So great time for new beginnings. So forgiveness there with Pisces energy. And then we've got these light worker cards, and I've just pulled a few, and the first one is boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? And this is interesting because I mentioned it before, Saturn is in retrograde, and it is a time that when Saturn is in retrograde, that you are being asked to kind of look at your boundaries, and if you need to reinforce change, tweak things, this is a great time. So, you know, if there's anything that you need to introduce as a boundary or change as a boundary, this is the energy to do it in. And then we've got starseeds. A shout out to all my starseeds. You know that I am a starseed too. So what lights you up? This is a great time to also look at, you know, purpose and what gives your soul fulfillment, and what is it that you feel like you're being called to. Don't give a toss about what anyone thinks. Go after what you feel. It's beautiful here because I see a full moon, I see the ocean. So really go into your feelings. This is a great time to really explore your feelings and wish based on how you feel. Go into those feelings and into your intuition. Cancer's highly intuitive moon energy, right? And with the ocean, great time to connect and talk to the moon, be with water in this season. I'm about to go to the ocean, so I need to wrap up because I am dripping. I need to go to the ocean. Final one is Lemuria. Anyone that knows or has connections to Lemuria, feels like their past life was in Lemuria, then there's a shout out here specifically to you guys. But in general, this is about creating heaven on earth, and it's happening. This is such a beautiful card because, you know, I've been talking about New Earth, and I've been embodying and living that higher timeline of New Earth, and we can all be there together creating this New Earth blueprint, higher dimensional love paradigm. And I've talked about that in the new Blueprint for Love episode, but this is really the heaven on earth, and it's such a beautiful picture, to be honest. Mountains, sea, waterfalls, like my absolute like love, all of these things. But it's also that beautiful energy that's coming through with that Venus and Jupiter. It's expansive, right? It's loving, and Cancer is caring, loving, nurturing, gives comfort and expresses feelings and vulnerability in a healthy way, which we all need to do. Like, everyone thinks, oh, stop getting in your feels, that doesn't look like a sign of strength. I said it before, it's a superpower. It's what we need to do to work through our own energy, to know ourselves better, to be our best self. So, you know, this is a fantastic time. The 6/6 portal into the full moon in Sagittarius, which was a different type of full moon. It felt like a new moon energy. A lot of people have felt so empowered by it. So shout out to the Soul Tribe that have been saying some really positive things. Thanks for sharing your stories and all of the great things that you've been noticing happening, feeling lifted. And then we had the solstice, and now new moon in Cancer. So it's just a beautiful moment for us. We're going to go into a full moon in Capricorn towards the middle of July, and I will do a video on that. But I hope that all of these messages provide some great insight and guidance just for how to navigate these new cycles that are coming up. And yeah, enjoy, celebrate, enjoy the summertime. I know in the UK we have our moments, and we don't always get that great weather, but just make the most of what you can, you know. I've heard it's been really nice anyway, so yeah, hopefully that continues when I get back, whenever I get back at some point. All right, sending you lots of love and light. Mwah.